Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, folks of all ages, all sizes, and everybody in between. I hope you're all doing wonderful tonight. Hope you're all doing beautiful tonight. We are going to be doing some Elden Ring here tonight, and it's gonna probably be a pretty darn good time, wouldn't you know it. We're going to be doing a subscriber incentivized run tonight because one of our lovely subscribers happened to suggest a weapon in particular that they really wanted to see during this run. I have been trying to push that a little bit more lately, and so we're going to be doing a cranial vessel candlestick, if I'm not mistaken, run tonight here, and I'm looking forward to it for what it's worth. So sit back, get comfy, all that magical stuff. Get yourself some cup of tea, cup of coffee, something good to drink. If you're that, if that's your pace, then definitely do that. And yeah, we'll get right into it. So, yo, FaZe, Morgana, how you doing tonight, friend? And Emilio, how you doing? Thank you so much for the luck. I appreciate it. You know, I feel like we're gonna do just fine tonight, honestly. I don't fun thing I've kind of started to pick up on. If I come into things with a usual plan, I usually find myself doing a much better job of it. Also, that reminds me, we should probably name our character. Because tonight's name, also, I believe Hero's the best class for this, if I'm not mistaken. I believe. Anyways, Mamba is officially the run owner tonight. So, Mamba, you are officially the name of the game. You get to be the character of the night here. Thank you so much for choosing our weapon of the night, friend. I greatly appreciate it. Um, we're going to definitely do our best to not die, of course, as best as we can, but we're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun with it. We're not going to overstress things as best as we can, and it's just going to be a good time, honestly. I think that is the whole point of the run here, is that we're just going to have a good time with it. So, um, honestly, what else can I say, really, other than, like, just get yourselves comfy, folks. We're going to get right into it pretty darn shortly. Yeah. Yeah, that's really about it for right now. So, also, Sunyan, welcome to the chat, friend. Hope you're doing well tonight. Get yourself comfy, all that magical stuff, and welcome to the channel. We're gonna go with the Old Man tonight. I feel like Old Man is such a good baseline for a lot of these character designs. He really is. Like, I personally, I don't think I've made a better Old Man. Weird phrasing. Now I'm thinking about it. Um, maybe could have a slight bit better phrasing there, but whatever. It's fine. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not that deep. Okay, let's see here. Alrighty, folks. You know what? I think we are pretty much good to go. Make my life a living hell. I look back at chat, and Morgana's thirsting. Emilio's getting ready to... Okay, fine. Well, you know what? We're gonna spin the Old Man right round, and we're just gonna... Oh, that's not a good zoom. That is not a great zoom. Anyways, that's a bunch of Old Man cheek for you. We're gonna get right into this run, and we're gonna get the weapon of the run going. So, one thing I will say on these runs, keep in consideration, is we do typically cheat in the weapon right off the bat because I don't want to dick around for like a solid 15, 30, whatever, some odd minutes just getting the weapon. So we're going to actually get the weapon, and then we're going to get the stats for said weapon. So, yes, we do cheat off the bat, but it is only because we like to actually do the run with the weapon in mind. So, let's get our weapon on our hands, and that is the only thing we're going to do. We're not going to actually cheat in anything else here. We're only going to give ourselves the weapon. So, just a minute here, chat. Caked up and cracked out. The Old Man's got them Raisin Bran cheeks. Look, you got to appreciate the Raisin Bran, because if you don't appreciate Raisin Bran, well, this is going to be an awkward awkward run for you. How do you feel about Raisin Bran, chat? Honestly. Like, I feel like Raisin Bran is probably one of my favorite cereals, and it's kind of like weirdly unironic when I say that. I genuinely find like Raisin Bran to be quite good. Cranial vessel candle stand, there we go. And one has been cheated in. Per the gods of cheats. Wonderful. Beautiful as it should be. Crunchy and crusty, not too shabby. You know, if you can have your Raisin Bran before it gets too soggy, it is such a good treat. I think it is like hands down one of my favorite things, especially when you get like the nice crunch mixed into the Raisin Bran. Oh my goodness, it is just an absolute wonderful time. There's no cereal quite so great for me personally. Which may just be like that old person opinion kind of kicking in for me, but I've definitely been saying that since like 15 roughly. I love Raisin Bran. I do. I do genuinely love Raisin Bran. Fuck you. Fuck you. So we technically have to lose this fight for what it's worth. That was a bunch of rolling, but we're going to go ahead and try and actually win the fight anyways, just because, why not? Like, what's the actual harm in, like, winning a fight? Technically speaking, for, like, a no-death run, you're not supposed to win this fight here, because the only way you get out of this circumstance without dying is by dying to the boss. Because the game loves to set you off with specifically 1 health. So, yeah. Raisin and yogurt. Ooh, ew. Kind of gross. I am not a big fan of raisins and yogurt. You know what I actually really enjoy is if you take some gosh. I'm forgetting exactly what it's called, but you take essentially like some crunchy raisin oats. Take some oats, you mix it in with yogurt, and you also mix in some blueberries, fresh blueberries, or some fresh strawberries. That fucks. That right there, like, I am not. Here's what I'll preface this with: I am not a big yogurt fan. All right, I personally like yogurt is a very hard category for me. So to be fair, I am not the biggest yogurt person in the world. But, that being said, when you put that all together, wow, those stat requirements, I super duper fuck with that. Like, I really do. Yo, Mamba, thank you, buddy. Greatly appreciate you showing up for your run, bud. Yeah, no, today is your run, man. Because we officially have the candlestick on hand, and this is our character, Mamba. And, yeah, we're going to definitely see how far we can take this character as best as we can. This is technically a no-death run, however, I will say, for sake of convenience, it's more likely that we'll add a no-death counter to the screen for every death that we do take. Other than the, like, very first death of the run. So, yo, Potato, how you doing, bud? By the way, folks, if you haven't already, do consider leaving a like on the stream. It is a wonderful way to help out, and even if you remove the like later, which is completely fine, because I personally am very, very, like, very neuro about my, about where I leave my likes on things. Leaving a like on a stream is genuinely like a massive help and a half. So if you are looking to help out, then that is an easy way to do so. So thank you if you have, and if you haven't already, do consider it. Thank you so much. So we're going to probably use the battle axe for just a little bit here, at least until we can actually, like, properly get ourselves set up here. I do want to be able to actually, like, use a weapon until we can actually use our main weapon of the run. I don't want to just cheat in stats at the same time that we're also trying to make the weapon happen, which I guess we could technically do if we really wanted to in the future here. But I don't know. I feel like there's a certain level of, like, what I want to see happen with these runs and what I don't want to see happen, and I feel like that is maybe a little too much on the cheating sides. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's completely reasonable, but we'll see. So. Which reminds me, let's go ahead and pop our runes here. And chat, while this is happening, I'm actually going to go ahead and have myself a sip of my drink here because we are having a little bit of a frisky drink tonight. We're going to have ourselves a little fun. Yes, sir.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
Yeah, the stat requirements on her are rough. Also, I forgot how slow that cutscene is. That's a really slow cutscene.
You need to the foot. Then it said, "Summon me." Ah, I bequeath.
Chat, I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but my very first time playing through Elden Ring, I shit you not, I was probably about 5 or 6 hours into the game before I actually realized that sitting one of these sites of grace is what triggers Melina to show up. Like, I genuinely did not realize that Melina was an option until much, much later. Which isn't great. It was kind of a little bit miserable, realistically, but yeah. That is definitely what happened on that occasion, so. Alright, so I guess in this case, what we could probably do is we could probably go pick ourselves up a weapon that could bleed Grail. Or, okay, chat, let me go ahead and ask. Let me ask. Would you rather me cheat in the stats for the weapon just enough to make the weapon happen? Not necessarily anything else, but just enough stats to make the weapon happen. Or actually grind out the stats until we get to the weapon. Because we could do it either way. But, realistically right now, one is going to obviously take longer than the other, so keep in mind.
Oi! You there. Could you help us out, Cully?
Also, we're playing on base game right now, just because I figure, like, why not? Why not? It's not that deep. Yes, that was definitely me reading chat right there. That's exactly why that happened. Okay, so Amelia's down for grinding, which, fair enough. Mamba is down for pretty much whatever. And then, let's see here, Sunyan is 30 levels to grind, which, in of itself, sounds like you're saying, like, that's a lot. And it is. It is definitely a lot to do. Although I will say, technically speaking, it's probably, I don't know if it's exactly 30, because if you're considering it down to, like, here's the thing. We need the flat faith requirement. That needs to happen. But strength is only, like, whatever we need to do for two-handing. Strength can be met a lot sooner than the faith requirement, so. Which is a little sad, because I kind of wish, like, it were different. But You know what? Let's go ahead and do our normal routing, anyways, and just see how it plays out. Just kill Grail. I mean, killing Grail would probably be the safest and easiest way to go about it, roughly. But the big thing about Grail right now is that we don't actually have a bleed weapon on hand. I guess I could... is there a chain? There's a mace, isn't there? Right over by the starting area. We could, technically speaking, maybe push that out. We could consider that. That might be enough. That might actually be enough. Reduvia Uchi. Uchi isn't too terrible, but at the same time, well, actually, no, Uchi really isn't that bad of a... Uchi is never a bad pick. Really, I probably should have just started off with the Samurai starting class, but oh well. I think Sunyan. If I'm not mistaken, the flail is over by the Weeping Peninsula. If I'm not mistaken. Which isn't really a bad idea. The flail is definitely cheaper in stat requirements. So that might not be a bad idea. That might not be a bad idea at all, my friend. So we could definitely consider that. Let's see how we're sitting on our stats right now. That's about 6k, okay, alright, roughly. That's not terrible. Really, I shouldn't be buying a bunch of other stuff right now until I actually get to where I need to be. So what we're gonna do instead is I'm just gonna kill this guy. Because this guy actually sells like a bunch of stuff that I would like for my run. And yes, maybe that's a little bit brutal and a little bit unnecessary, but that man needed to die so my run could live. So, really, if you think about it, chat, it's completely fine. Completely based. I completely agree with you, Emilio. But look, he really should not have been carrying around that much sleeping material. His first mistake was being the guy that was quite sleepy. A little bit eepy, even. A little snoozy boy. So, should he have done that? No. No, he really shouldn't have done that. I'm going to go ahead and do the standard in this case, which would be... We're going to go ahead and get the standard heavy equipment, so that way we can actually do like some sick, nasty damage later. Mainless behavior. Well, look. Maybe it is, but the game did definitely start off by saying that we were maidenless. So, yes, I guess it was. It was indeed maidenless. Did he deserve to die? No. No, he really didn't deserve to die. That was a little unfortunate. Heck, we still have quite a few levels to actually pump right now, just to make this happen. No mains. Yeah, no mains. What can I say? Truly unfortunate. We are... Ugh, God, it's 5 more levels until we can even hit that stat requirement. Luckily, we already have it, I think, enough for the strength? Let's see here. No. No, we are actually lacking in strength right now. Okay, fair enough. Alright. Alright, so a couple more graveyards to rob, and then we'll eventually hit our stat requirements. Alright, So, time to start running around, collecting stats as best as we can, and eventually we will be able to afford actually what we're looking at. 40. Wonderful. Having... Okay. You know what? Because we're gonna go ahead and talk here. If there was a particular maiden, and I'll go ahead and put this out there as any of the Soulsborns. So, any of the Soulsborns, any of the Sekiro-borns, any of the Bloodborns, which, yes, I know there's only one Sekiro and one Bloodborne and everything like that. Okay, get off my butt. Which one would you personally like to spend time with? Hmm? What is your ultimate goal there, chat? Raya and Solaire are the first picks of that. It's almost February. Will I be your maiden? What? Potato, what does that mean? Why is February when I am suddenly a maiden? Wait, I'm so confused. The furry one, the fox one. Wait, what? When was there a furry? Valentine's Day? Okay, sure. Fair enough. Oh boy. Chat, what are you on right now? What have you been smoking lately? Hmm? What is this that you're doing? The one with the Firefox attack. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not 100% sure who does a Firefox attack. Unless you're talking about your web browser, which in that case, you know, I don't really know what to say about that equation. That's a bit interesting, if anything. Yo, I have never had that thing die up there. That's crazy. Nice. Put him in the grave. You can put, Bing is the best browser. Interesting. Well, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know enough about the browser differences on that one to actually argue with you. So, sure, yeah, okay, why not? I'll take your word for it. It's gonna have to be. Alright, get this chest. Put this man in the grave. There we go. Didn't even need that item. Love to see it. Wonderful. Okay, cool. I've gotten too used to doing like the randomizer routing on this stuff to where I pretty much grab like every single item I can every time I run through these areas. So pretty consistently I end up grabbing things that actually don't mean shit to me at this point. And it's not ideal. It's just not ideal. Alright, let's see if we have enough to actually afford our stats. No, I don't think we do, chat. I don't think we do. Alright, we'll have to do a bit more grinding there. By the way, is a candlestick a normal weapon? Like, is that a normal smithing weapon? Or is that one where you have to specifically grind it out? You know, I just said two very complexing and, like, contradictory statements at the same time. What I mean by that is one a somber weapon and is one like a normal smithing weapon, pretty much. Because I actually have no idea. I don't know why I'm going for the boss real quickly here, but I am. Because I would like to do bosses during this run. That is a lot of skeletons, actually. That is like a ridiculous amount. That is a lot of spooky. I am oh my goodness. Oh no, spooky. Oh. I feel like it has to be somber, right? Only because, like, in terms of, like, unique weapons, they're usually somber. The Bony Boys! The Bony Boys are back in town. Oh, no. Not the bones! Ah, the Bony Boys. We love the Bonies. I hate to say it, Alexander, but this is not a run for you, big guy. No runs are really for Alexander, actually. Like, this run is equally as bad as the last run for Alexander.
Don't dally. Give it your all. Ah, oh, that. Well, wait. I see it now. Humans all lose their will eventually. How could this?
Put him in the grave.
Was my whole existence just a
Look, I'd say I'm terribly sorry on that one, Mamba, but he had to die. He had to die. He kept talking. He kept speaking his dialogue, and unfortunately for him, dialogue meant nothing.
Are you here as
Okay, let's buy that, and I'm gonna kill this merchant? You know what, I'm gonna kill this merchant. That was a whiff.
Please stop this.
I will not.
It's all my fault. I said don't hurt me.
What a bozo! What a sad little boy! It's all his fault! I feel kind of bad for murdering him. It'd be so nice if the game just let you steal their bells, or like just take their bells from them. But like, it's really unfortunate. That is tragic. That is genuinely sad. Oh, that's so sad. I'm only doing it too because if just in case we happen to be wrong about like what weapon category we need to level up with, I'd rather be prepped and ready. So it's his fault. That's so sad, chat. Excuse me, get the item. There we go. Stop here for 2 minutes. Go ahead and do that. Wonderful. Alright, so luckily we're about at the end of our normal routing for the most part, which is awesome. We love to see it. We're gonna definitely be going over to Grail at some point or another here. But for right now, I mean, really, we're almost there anyways. So, yay. Actually really happy to see it. Let's go ahead and go see our man, Mr. Height himself, and put him in the grave, shall we? You know, honestly, chat, I don't know necessarily if I feel like this might actually be like one of the best Soulsborns as a whole. Like, I feel like this game does Souls pretty darn well. Would you say this game is like your favorite Soulsborne, or would you say that a different Soulsborne still kind of sticks out as your favorite? Because for me personally, if there was a contender, I'd probably maybe say like Dark Souls 1, only because Dark Souls 1 was my starter, and it's just such a game for me. Dark Souls 1 is like one of those games where like I feel like I can do whatever I want to. Granted, maybe that's not true. Also, Kennethite. Get fucking yeeted, dumbass. Get the grease, get that. Wonderful, and we're on our way. Beautiful. Nice, potato. I'm actually a little lost on the context of that statement, friend. Hmm. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Nice. Sacred Tier, and... there we go. Cool. Go ahead and do these quick upgrades real quickly. There we go. Love to see it. The good news is, technically speaking, we could probably fish this out immediately if we went over to the Weeping Peninsula. Actually, yeah, we could just do that if we wanted to, and that would immediately give us our faith requirement in this case. So we could just do that if we wanted to. Though, realistically... actually, yeah, we could just do that, couldn't we? That wouldn't be the dumb... maybe we'll just do that. Let's see if we can fish it out real quickly with the cash that we acquired real quickly. Why not? That is not going to be enough. Thank you. Thank you, Mamba. A little bit more cash, and... what do we got? Alright, that's almost enough. God, we're so close. Tell you what, let's start over here. We're going to go to Weeping, and we're going to go get the other bell bearing. Alright? Or not the bell bearing, but the tier. That'll pretty much allow us to just do what we want to do. In this case, which will... I mean, honestly, 3 minutes should be more than enough in most cases. It really should, actually. So, let's go ahead and start heading over this way. I'm going to take a quick drink here, folks, and, yeah. But, I think we were talking about it before. I did see one answer in this case for it, and that was the DS3 Firekeeper. But for me personally, if I had to answer, I'm going to go ahead and go with Shanalot from DS2, only because, one, redheads, and two, also, she just, I don't know what it is. She just got the voice. She's got the voice for it. That is the big thing. Okay, there we go. I mean, I feel like Shanalot's such a good answer, you know? Yeah, Shanalot's, like, awesome. Shanalot's, like, I don't think Shanalot isn't a good, like, overall, a good game. I personally really like Dark Souls 2 for what it's worth, but that doesn't necessarily mean, like, I think it's a great game in terms of Soulsborns. I think it's a great game outside of Soulsborne spectrum, but if you can get over that, then yeah, I think it's actually like a really good game. I think there's a lot of really nice perks about Dark Souls 2. Um, I think Dark Souls 2 also happens to have like some relatively fun mechanics for the most part. Relatively. That's a lot of dogs right there. There's certain things about Dark Souls 2 that I just don't think that a lot of people vibe with, and that's fair. Like, I don't think there's a lot about Dark Souls 2 that you have to vibe with. But I definitely think, like, Dark Souls 2 does a lot of decent stuff. Like a machine for pigs. You know what, Sunyan? I think you said it very, very well. I do genuinely believe, like, Dark Souls 2 had power stancing down to a T. For sure. Like, I fully believe that. Power stancing in Dark Souls 2 was actually, like, really, really fun. Like, I think that it's probably the best experience as a whole. Just because, one, Dark Souls... You know what actually made power stancing, like, really fun about Dark Souls 2? Is that, one, you could also, like, exit out of power stancing to where you could just change your moveset on the fly. Like, you didn't have to be locked into one moveset as it stands. I think Dark Souls 2 did that superbly. Elden Ring simplified the ever-living shit out of it. And I'm not the biggest fan of Elden Ring power stancing. Not even close. I don't believe Elden Ring did it very well. I'd really love it if they did eventually say, hey, what if we found a way to make it happen like Dark Souls 2 happened? But that's, like, that is some silly little dream kind of stuff right now at this point. Dark Souls 2, though, like, power stancing went out of its way to be very, very innovative. It just felt so damn good. The other thing I think Dark Souls 2 did super well, and this is specifically more towards like the PvP side of things, Dark Souls 2 made it so PvP felt like you could pretty much take like any weapon you wanted to into PvP, and it would work. It would genuinely work. Like, you could do that. Any weapon you want to put into PvP for Dark Souls 2, and it would pretty much... Like, I mean, you could literally take the broken swords into PvP, and that would be a viable option. Which I kind of thought was base as fuck. Like, I did. Obviously, there's the metas. There's, of course, always the metas, which you can't really ignore meta for what it's worth. It's obnoxious and annoying and ridiculous in every single way. You know, I'm actually going to take one quick point of health here. Actually, let me go ahead and just kind of keep fishing out the... get the requirements on these things so that way I can do other things later. I suppose that's arguably better. But anyways... But long story short of it, I feel like Dark Souls 2 allowed you to pretty much make anything work during a build. One of my favorite builds during Dark Souls 2. And actually, speaking of infusions, was pretty much doing a poison and bleed build off of the standards, off of just the bare minimum requirements for the the what you call it, the broken swords. That felt really good, actually. That really did feel good, actually. Go ahead and go for the big smash. Love to see it. We love our status. We love our status effects here. We're all about status effects. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Don't do it again. Well, they didn't do it again, so credit where credit's due. Oh god, that takes a while. That takes a while to get out of. Oh, this will be fine. This will be a fine weapon. This will be a fine weapon. This is a good weapon right here. This bonking status. Granted, it might fall off drastically during the second act of the game, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on that front. Alright, let's go ahead and do this boss right here. This will be... Look, it's... As far as I can tell you, it's pretty good. It's a great hammer. It's an okay hammer. Let's be realistic here. It's an okay hammer at best. Potato. Oh, that might not have been a falling distance, but this might be okay. I am very glad I didn't die there. Yay, love to see it. It's an acceptable hammer. Exactly. I'm glad to see somebody get it. By the by, chat, I actually do really want to do some more Lethal Company here soon. So, if you haven't already considered it, definitely consider picking up Lethal Company, because I won't lie to you, I am definitely like planning on doing more Lethal Company with subscribers and with folks in general. So, if you're considering it, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's an easy way to join in on the game. So, ironically enough, considering, like, I feel like I've gotten asked multiple times to do, like, subscriber-only runs of Elden Ring before. So, the first death is going to be by fall day. Well, it might be, or Morgana, you might be exactly correct about that theory. Let's not talk about it any further. Okay, alright, we'll leave it at that. Alright, there is officially our faith requirement, which is great news. That is covered, good to go. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Let's go to Church of LA, and...
This way, tarnished.
Trying to think of this, because we have two ways to approach this.
I wasn't sure. Torrents. Tis a summon there with spirits now. It is that.
Okay.
Forgive mine intrusion, tarnished. I doubt wish.
Okay, good. Somber Path is indeed the route that we're going to be working with. Fair enough. Nice. Alright, then in that case, let's go ahead and take off that shield for right now. This is our talisman that we're going to be working with. Everything seems roughly about where we need it to be. The one thing that I think we are missing actually right now is the, there is the strength damage talisman that we need to go pick up real quickly. So let's go do that. This is a better hub than the actual hub. Heck, you know, honestly, I think you're kind of right about that. You know, honestly, I think you're kind of right about that. That is completely a based opinion. Church of LA feels like a much better up now than thinking about it, actually. That is really, really based. We could technically go out of our way to make sure that this thing is leveled up as best as it can be before we actually reach our first boss of the game. But I'm not going to really concern myself with it because it's not that deep, honestly. It's really not. We're just going to go ahead and take what we can out of this experience, and if we get good gear, we get good gear. Yay. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we don't have to worry about our stat requirements on Faith anymore, so now we can go ahead and just primarily focus on one side of that coin. Love to see it. I'm gonna go challenge Margit, and I'm gonna go see what happens. We're gonna go see what happens with Margit. Why not? Margit could... Margit could be awful. The hardest thing about Margit right now is that we're kind of going into this a little bit low damage and honestly kind of low health. But with any luck, this weapon will kind of carry on of its own accord, and it won't be that big of a deal. Excuse me, sir. The good news is our stat requirements are just infinitely better, so we're good to go. Alright, there we go. We're on pace. Big meaty smackers. Oh, 2 hits to stack. 2 hits to stagger, chat. This old man is going in the grave.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Big meaty smack. Smack those old man cheeks. That's fine. Old man put in the grave. We love to see it. Chug on the old man's grave and remind him that death is inevitable for all of us. And unfortunately for the elderly, this is especially the case. Sit at the site of grace so that way he is reminded that his death is unfortunately past. And then have the hot bad, the bad hottie show up.
To see whether or
Death
not
comes for the oldest of men
grace truly
first,
does
unfortunately.
guide
Yeah,
you.
as it
And
stands.
It seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can take gathering place. Very well. Let my hand.
Ah, God. Old man versus Margaret, who will win? Well, unfortunately in this case, it's gonna be the old man. Because Margaret is even older man. That's exactly the equation on that one. I would say at this point we could probably start just leveling Vigor for the most part, because we don't really need to concern ourselves with other stats. We already have what we need to make the weapon work, and that's a solid 3 minutes. So we can pretty much just sit on that one. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we're good enough at this point, chat, that we could just go ahead and take on our next boss, and we'd be fine. We would be more than fine, reasonably. It's a shadow clone. Well, honestly, it could be a shadow clone. It could definitely be a shadow clone. On a different side tangent here. Chat, what is your favorite anime of the last 2 years? For like just to have a realm of possibilities. What is your favorites? Because I do like suggestions. Goblin Slayer. Interesting. Okay. There we go. Hey, we made it past the barrage. Love to see it. That is the initial... Well, I guess I should probably get the Site of Grace only because this is kind of important. So let's go ahead and get this over here just so that way we don't have to make as big of a run on our way back. All that magic. Yeah, let's get this real quickly. We'll be good to go. Nah, in this case, Morgana. I can't blame you on My Hero because honestly, My Hero had a fucking sauce and a half to it that I thought was like really, really damn good, honestly. Only problem is I think like the latest seasons have been... I think the game just crashed. Cool, wonderful. There's just a certain level of sauce that's kind of fallen off. Also, I love how it's the Pokemon screen that's popped up. Which I can't actually tell you even why that's the case right now. I should probably get that fixed. But the long short of it is I feel like there's certain things that are just missing from... They're just missing from My Hero lately. There are certain things that are missing entirely from My Hero, and it's a little bit sad to see. It really, really is. God, I kind of miss like peak My Hero. I really do. I can understand reading, Potato. I could definitely understand reading. There's quite a few that I've started reading lately, only because like the pacing is a lot more consistent for me personally, and also I feel like I'm not waiting nearly as long. Examples would be like Mashuko Matensei. That might be a slight mispronunciation there of the name of it, but Mashuko. There's also Berserk. I've also been reading My Hero in this case. Um, there's been quite a few that I've actually started reading in this case. And I personally would love it if they started coming out at a much swifter pace, but they just aren't going to do that. So, just kind of accepted that like certain animes, certain mangas, you just kind of have to read if you really want to enjoy them for the pace that they can provide. You definitely should read. Berserk is one of those kinds of mangas that you don't want to drop, unfortunately. And there are certain things about Berserk, unfortunately, at this point that are... I'm not gonna lie, like, I wish I kind of did drop Berserk after the tonal shift that the authors put out. Which is to say that, like, after I'm forgetting the author's name right now, but after what's his face did indeed pass away, it became a lot harder of a thing to read. It really, really did. I really do wish I had dropped it. It would have probably been a lot easier on me because, ironically enough, the series unintentionally ended at a beautiful ending. It really did, actually. Like, that's the funniest part. Is like, the series died at a time where, honestly, where, like, it could have died. It could have just been the end. It could have just been the end. That was a mistake and a half. Holy shit. It really could have. But it just didn't. I was actually pretty sad to see that happen. The way that did. Because it kind of deserved that. It kind of deserved that good ending. Because, like, the ending that it got was not necessarily the one that most people would probably have wanted at the end of the day. But it was the one that they sat there for, like, years. Pretty much, like, saying, like, hey, this is it. This is the end of the series. And it kind of worked for it. It really did. So, sad, but yeah. Alright. Let's go ahead and see if this works well against Godric. This should be fine against... Honestly, if you go into this boss fight against Godric with a weapon that does damage, you should be fine here. You should be pretty fine. We're probably going to be doing a ton and a half of stagger damage here, which is kind of nice, actually. I gotta say, what the hell is Dragon Ball on lately? Like, just as, like, a complete and utter side note. Because they're dealing with characters that are literally named after, like, breakfast cereals and shit. And it's weird as hell. Run away for 2 seconds. Big meaty smash into big meaty smash. And we're done with the boss. Love to see it. Yeah, let's go beat up Kellogg's real quickly. Yo, where's that asshole granola chilling at? I gotta go ahead and pack his ass. Exactly. Like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't think I'd have as big of a problem with it if it weren't just so, like... It's so lazy, as far as I can tell you. Because it is. It's fucking lazy. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things where you just gotta be there for it, and maybe it just feels good when you're reading it at that time. But some of that character design is lazy. Actually, that is a big thing of it. Some of the character design is, like, genuinely lazy as fuck right now. And it feels wacky as hell. I don't know. Like, a lot of mangas are kind of on that pace right now, which is very unfortunate to see. Another thing that, like, is weird to me is the general pace that Jujutsu has taken lately. Because I feel like Jujutsu's kind of taken a very wackadoo pace lately. And I don't think it's as bad as some other mangas necessarily. I just simply am saying like I feel like if it continues the way that it has been, because now they're doing like low level talk no jutsu to Sukuna, which is kind of weird to consider. But sure, why not? I suppose. Like, sure, let's have Sukuna, the absolute devil of curses, just be like, I'm fucking nervous, man. I'm having a bad time. I can't handle people having a bad time. And it's like, it's weird because it's like that's the pace we're going with. Sure, I guess. Anyway, chat, thank you for listening to me ramble. Dodged. Fuck this guy right here. Tell you what, I think we're gonna probably we're gonna get ourselves the Great Rune here, and we're probably gonna call it sometime in like not too soon from now, roughly. Honestly, yeah, we're gonna probably just get our Great Rune, and we're not too far off from the end of the night, so. I know I've been doing slightly shorter nights than usual lately here, but it's just it's unfortunately just one of those things. That being said, I do believe tomorrow we're probably going to be doing ourselves some more than likely some more Lethal Company. A little bit dependent. If it's not Lethal Company, then it's probably going to be either Pal World or more or less of our beautiful lad here, right here. So, yeah. Oh, we love doing it modded, Sunyan. We absolutely love doing Elden Ring. Or, not Elden Ring, my bad. Elden Ring too, but Elden Ring and Lethal Company, we love doing modded. So, which reminds me, Sunyan, if you want to consider it, we do modded Elden Ring and Lethal Company. Lethal Company, though, we do like to have people with it. So if you're down for it, check the link in the description for the stream here, because we do like to have people a part of the streams. So yeah. But folks, I am terribly, terribly sorry to say, but I do believe that is going to be about roughly it for tonight. I know it is a much shorter stream than usual for tonight, but we're going to go ahead and call it here. But as per usual, if you had a good time with us here tonight, you know what, fuck this bozo right here. Hang on.
What a pathetic excuse.
Stop beating up Pickle Rick.
What are you doing? What's it to you? Step back, you wretch tarnished. I'm free.
There we go. Put him in the grave.
I can do what
Get some good sleep, Pickle Rick.
like.
Pat, pat. Anywho. That is going to have to be it for tonight, though, folks. We will have ourselves more fun later, but for right now, we've gotten ourselves a darn decent baseline for our character. If you had a good time with us here tonight, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you are watching this as a VOD, do consider the same things because, frankly, it is a wonderful way to help out, a magical way to help out, and we definitely enjoy having new parts of our community. Also, on our trek to 1,000 subscribers, definitely be a part of that. Why not? You know? Thank you, folks. Have a great rest of your night. Take good care of yourselves. Get some water, get some sleep, get some food if it's that time for another world for you. And I will see you all on a different day. Thank you so much for stopping in. Sunnian, thank you for stopping in. Greatly appreciate it. Morgana, thank you for stopping in. Absolutely appreciate it. Potato, always wonderful having you around, bud. Always wonderful having you around, Mamba. Thank you so, so much for stopping in, and I will see you all later. Yeah, see you soon enough. Take care, folks. Bye.